Hey and welcome folks, it's Mark Rolton coming to you from the Massland HQ. I trust that you're well today and I trust that the new year is really taking shape the way that you wanted it to. I wanted to bring you some powerful and very insightful news over the last 24 hours. This is front page mainstream media here in Australia. The Australian Financial Review talks about the RBA, obviously Reserve Bank of Australia, is talking about the Aussie dollar being so high. What creates such a stable economy and having a currency that's so incredibly high? In Australia right now, we're trading at 94.34 cents against the greenback, the US dollar. Now think about that. We're almost parity to the US dollar again. Why? Because exports are at an all-time high. Get this. This is a golden piece. This really does debunk all the rhetoric discussion about, is the GFC an end? Is this an opportunistic time for me, Mark? Is it now? Because the markets are charging so fast now, Mark, is it a good time for me to get in? Let's have a look at this. It's got quite a large story here, but I'll give you the quick summary of it. It says here, and these are powerful people. We're talking about the Chief Economic Advisor for HSBC. Now this chap's a pretty smart fellow. His name's Dr. Edwards. He's talking about, the exports in Australia being an all-time high. Get this, in the first 2 months of the year, i.e. 2014, there was a trade surplus. Now think about that. 2 months is 8 weeks. Trade surplus of $2.6 billion. The best way to start any year in official data dating back to 1971. Now let's put that in context. Let's unpack the facts here. Think about that. In 8 weeks, Australia now traded at $2.6 billion worth of surplus. That means our imports were less than our exports. Our exports were greater by our imports of 2.6 billion Aussie dollars in an 8-week window. That is the greatest statistic of exports we've had since 1971. Folks, unemployment here in Australia is tipping at 5.7%. We're talking about LNG right now. Now let's just give you a quick snapshot of this. I've been talking to my team for the last 3 months about LNG. The mining resource boom over as the coal markets are coming to an end. Liquid natural gas, we know, is the future of energy, at least for the intermediate future. Next 25, 40 years will hold a very different source of energy. But for now, we realise coal is obviously very dirty. It creates a massive amount of CO2. But LNG is tomorrow's energy. Australia today has over $200 billion worth of LNG projects on foot right now. Between exploration, delivery and production. In Australia, we are the largest by volume, the largest LNG producer in the world. Do the maths. We've attracted $200 billion of foreign investment for that one resource. Now that's well over 60% of the whole global's expenditure on one resource. This country has attracted it. Now we keep talking about a budget deficit and maybe being a bit short of money and what the Labor government has done. I'm not going to talk about politics, but where we are at for the last 15 years, we've been creating huge debts in Australia. LNG is set to create over 600,000 jobs in the next decade. Do the maths, folks. That's bringing money to Australian shores. That's bringing economic viability to our shores. That's bringing jobs to us and to our children, our future generations. This is an incredible time. It is such a robust time to be investing. We've got all-time interest rates being low. This is the lowest interest rates in Australia's credit history. You've got a spiralling market of real estate values going through the roof. In the last week, over 7 properties in Sydney have sold in excess of $20 million. From Bellevue Hill to Rouse Hill, you name it. It's extraordinary to what's going on right now. And you think about the values of property all over the country. Every capital city is experiencing double-digit phases of growth right now. Every capital city bar Perth, and it's catching up extremely fast. Question is, how many are you going to set up in your portfolio? We've got customers today that are buying property for $430,000, $440,000, knowing full well that in the next year it's going to be $495,000, $510,000. They are very handsome profits, very generous windfalls. Question is, what are you going to do about it, folks? You hear about what's going on right now, and it's extraordinary. I mean, it really is. I'm so excited about the future of investing for myself personally and for the larger group, being yourself, being our graduates, being our team. Now is your moment. Break through. This is the time to make some serious money. There's a project that we launched a little while ago called Returns. Returns on River Road. And this is a project that really is so well positioned. It's 26.4 kilometres from the capital city of Brisbane. I was going to say CBD, capital city is the same thing, of Brisbane. Rental returns are in the $355 to $360 a week. The properties, 3-bedroom townhouses with a body corporate strata levy fee of $14.61 per week. 3-bedroom, brand spanking new, freehold titles. We've got a handful of them left. Should you want to own one of them, secure one of those, they're not going to be delivered until December of this year. Now, obviously ready for rent. So settlement is going to be literally, where we're in April, May, it's going to be like, 7 months away. That is a beautiful time to pick up something. It's a low price, very, very cost effective. We've seen Sydney go through a massive spike in values. Melbourne has obviously followed suit. A lot of people are picking, analysts and your economists are all picking Southeast Queensland, Brisbane as being that next change. I would suggest to you, for goodness sakes, pick up the telephone, give one of my team a call and say, listen, get my foot on something. If you need to go through a financial snapshot and look at your finances, we have in-house financiers here that can help out and tell you what you can borrow, whether it's possible or not, but at least you'll know. Put your foot out there, folks. For goodness sake, secure something. I don't care what it is. When markets are rallying like that, exports at an all-time high since 1971, unemployment down, lowest interest rates in Australia's credit history, you've got to ask yourself, why aren't I in the market in a bigger way? So folks, for goodness sakes, this is your call to action. Get moving. Buy 2, buy 3. For goodness sakes, the market's moving that fast. And enjoy the spoils of these times where property values do spike. This is the fastest way that I know to make money in real estate. Pick up the telephone today. Ring them, ask them, talk to them. Whether you're talking to Gemma, Simon, Brody, for goodness sakes, give them a call and just say, listen, I need to find out how many I can buy. Is it 1? Is it 2? Put myself in a position where I can win from real estate. Cut your tax bill. A lot of people here are doing 30% less tax, 45% less tax. They're saving themselves literally thousands of dollars a year just in tax that they ordinarily give to the tax man. Now it's going to their own investment portfolio and creating a pathway to retirement through their automatic acquisition plan. Do something. Get moving now. This is Mark Rolton signing off. Look forward to hearing about your success stories and hearing about your AAP and how it's coming along. Have a great afternoon. Bye for now.